Hopefully my audio is coming through good for everybody. Hopefully people can hear Arctic as well. I haven't looked over to Twitch yet to see if I can hear or if anybody can hear anything. We'll see you, audience. Can you guys hear?
All right. This is our first podcast with the Midnight Misfits. Today I'm with my co-host, Brutal Mastodon. So we will be discussing the state of Destiny and taking questions. So hope you all enjoy. All right, man, we're good. It appears to be.
All right, good deal. So, if you guys are watching online, Arctic is also streaming on his Twitch as well, and his YouTube channel. Arctic, can you drop your Twitch name?
Yeah, I can be found on Twitch as Arcticjag242 and on YouTube as Arcticjag dash Midnight Misfits Gaming. Well, let's talk about that. So, how long have you been playing, Brutal?
One beta. I started on the Xbox originally. I switched over to PlayStation when the game actually launched.
I started as well on the Xbox for the beta and switched over to PlayStation. I believe it was Crota Raid that I switched over. Cam and Sean brought me to the dark side. Oh, you're not sharing? Rude. That's right, I'm drinking coffee out of my spicy ramen cup, so.
I'm actually going to have my official Air Force One cup that I picked up when Air Force One was, I'll give it for application. Is it just not coming through, Matt, or is it a little garbage?
Facebook's been having problems with that here lately, where it's, especially if you do Facebook Live. I had a warrant officer I served with retire, and she did Facebook Live for her retirement, and it was like cutting in and out horribly.
Can't hear me on Twitch at all. Oh.
Were you muted again?
Might help if I I muted my stinking mic. Alright, we're starting all over.
Oh, man. Do I have to post a meme in chat again?
Oh, jeez. Alright, so apparently I'm the worst person in the world because everything that I said, none of you guys heard me. I'm sorry. Episode 1 of our podcast. Me and Arcticjag 242. This is on PlayStation. And what are your other handles there, Arctic, for Twitch and YouTube?
So on Twitch I'm Arcticjag242, and on YouTube I'm just Arcticjag hyphen Midnight Misfits Gaming.
And to recap, down below my screen right there, you guys can see my Twitch, my YouTube, my Facebook, where you're watching. All of those. I don't think they're linked. Alright, Larry, let me know if that fixed it. Yeah, and then the Discord, you guys go to the Simnet Discord. Yeah, it's I told you, man, I was gonna put it on there. It's at the bottom of the screen there. You guys can see that Simnet Discord. Most big group of dudes, a little younger, but they're alright.
everybody's younger than me, so, you know. Yeah, but I can keep up with you young asses, so.
It's pretty easy to keep up with me. I got messed up with. Anyways, so back on subject. Assuming the audio is good, better to let me know if I'm still echoing. I don't know if Facebook audio is going to do well or not. He does. So Matt's very good at trials. He's carried me a couple times. Never could go flawless, but just naturally decent times. Alright, so Facebook is good. We got no echo. I'm there. Twitch is echoing. I have a lot of problems with Twitch. I think it's double feeding my audio. Is he playing through something? What do you mean, Larry? Check our Discord. Talking in there. She's posted things there about
Ooh, lyric.
yeah.
Let me check.
She asked if is he playing through something. Now he's set up same way as I am. We're talking on headsetting, Moonlight.
She hasn't posted anything in Discord.
I was thinking that her social audio. Sorry. Technical. That's what happens, right?
It's called editing.
Yep, I got him pulled up, man. It's called editing. Alright, let's try that. No, that might have fixed anything. Hopefully that didn't cancel all audio.
That's the thing I hate about Twitch is it's so delayed getting stuff.
Well, and like I said, lately it's been, I don't know, bad with audio issues. But anyways, so we were talking about a game that we have played religiously for what, 7 years now. I think it came out 2014.
Yeah.
September of 14, I think was the original release for it.
Yeah, I believe it was September 2014. It's one of those games that I, for the longest time, haven't been able to put down. But I think that's part of what this discussion is where Destiny sits now and the future, and if they don't change things, what that means for us.
You know, and it's so different because, in D1 you didn't have seasons. No, they never did a true seasons, did they?
No, they did straight DLCs. Because you had, when Destiny came out, the first DLC was, what was it, the House of Kings or whatever it was, House of Wolves, and then Crota, and then, Dark Blow, and then, was it the Taken King, and then, right, and
That was, honestly, I think Taken King was the last masterwork of Destiny.
yeah, you're probably right on that. Forsaken came close, but it just didn't have the oomph that Taken King had.
Taken King had a wow factor. I agree, Matt. We have to go back to the Taken King level of content, and it's not even just a level of content; it's a level of give a shit. Is what it effectively boils down to. And for a lot of us veterans that have played, and I say veterans, Destiny vets, we just couldn't put together. There was a period of probably like a year or two solid after with Taken King, Rise of Iron. I don't think I played enough. I really don't. I didn't buy anything. I may have bought like one or two things new, but they just sat there and collected us because the hooks were in, and it just. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel that way anymore. I could put Destiny. Actually, I haven't played aside from the other day. Like stupid mission again. Like, it's just the hooks aren't in as much anymore. Now, I find myself playing other games, Warzone, Division, Apex, Kid play Fortnite.
I'm gonna say you play Fortnite. We gotta have a discussion. It might need to be an intervention.
My 9-year-old actually plays Fortnite. So if you ever see me online playing Fortnite, it's not me. It's my 9-year-old. And she has actually got a couple wins. So it's like, okay. But, so, I got a list of stuff. I think Arctic might have a list of stuff. Got a couple of questions on Discord. From some people. Some of the stuff, we agree to. So start off, we're gonna get with when D2 launched. D2 launched, and then we had, I think it was maybe a week or two after, the first faction rallies, right? The first faction war.
Faction rallies.
They need to bring that back.
I don't know how many missions I grinded with you for faction armor.
Yeah, because my faction was Dead Orbit.
Yep.
And, in D1, I remember you could switch your faction because you had your the class. Everybody was grinding for different weapons in D1. For Dead Orbit, it was the scout rifle. I forgot the scout rifle, but it was one that had I think it was full auto and dragonfly or explosive rounds on it. I just can't remember what the name was, but it's just it's something that's been lacking in after that first season of the game. They stopped doing it, and it's like why stop something that actually got people on the game and gave them a reason to grind. Crow says, "Good God, that's Dash." Yes, you will never see. I got a mustache going on or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but see, the thing about that was, and it wasn't necessarily the weapons I remember grinding with you. It was the armor. All right, so everybody understands this obsession Brutal has. Brutal, prior to him changing his name, Brutal Mastodon was known as the Coon, and he would spend. He would spend at least an hour putting so Brutal has a verb, an adjective that describes him spending an hour matching armor and shaders.
I did. So it boils down to in D1, I was a complete fashionista.
You still are. That's why you're not fire team leader.
Yeah, I'm not allowed. So some things I'm not allowed to do in video games. I'm not allowed to do that take too long accessorizing. And thank you, Joe. I'm also not allowed to currently drive vehicles ever. And
That's just PUBG.
I have a habit of if I'm driving,
either crashing or running you over, whichever comes first.
something, something. But to get back into it, so my list of stuff, right? Some of the things that I have on here. Uh, no new Crucible maps. There haven't been any new Crucible maps in 3 or 4 expansions. Right? It's been insane. I think the last one. Actually, no, there hasn't been. The in-game, basically, the in-game content is just not enough. Let's talk about the in-game content. Um, what's the reason to grind right now? Here's one. Okay, I hit season rank like 120 something. Um, I got all the different weapons that I wanted. I got the armor that I wanted, and it's like, well, now what? There's no reason to grind. There's no true end game. Other games, for instance, Final Fantasy 14, right? I played Final Fantasy 14 a little bit. It has an end game. It's got 12 different raids right now, and that's just new in and then they have extreme and savage content. So you take that 12, that's now 36 different in-game raids that people grind for weeks to get past. It's not easy. So you have to have best in slot gear. You have to have all this stuff, and then you have on top of that the transmog systems that you can make your character look however you want. This one doesn't have that. They say, oh, we're gonna introduce transmog. We're gonna introduce transmog. The current transmog system is garbage. Complete garbage. The seasonal ornament, you can only put certain ornaments on certain pieces of gear. You can't call it a transmog. Now I'm thinking maybe I'm spoiled by Diablo. Right? Diablo has an outstanding transmog system. It always have. But it's very bland. The game is very bland right now. The Hawkmoon mission was good. But you grinded a couple times. So okay, that was boring. Oh, cool, I got a ship. Yay.
Well, I think it's more than just bland. I think Bungie right now is having an identity crisis. Like, after they're split with Activision, and as much as I loved to see them split from Activision because I had such high hopes for the game after they split, I think it's one of those double-edged swords. It was good that they split because they can have control of the game. It's bad because I think Activision was providing the focus for the game.
Yeah, and yes, Activision had some success with that, that big part of
But you're
on track, right?
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, true transmog, like right now as transmog sits, like Iron Banner armor, you can't get like you're grinding for the same armor just reskinned. You don't have the ability to go in and like, oh, I want to keep this armor but have it look that way, like you can with some of the regular armor sets right now. Now, as you said,
Right.
Destiny keeps saying they're going to fix that, and they've been saying that for what, 2 years?
Yeah. Ever since you could attach I think even in season 1, day 1,
or maybe it was season 2. Um, when they introduced that system, the ornaments, the ornament. It's not transmog right now. It's just called the ornaments. And I was like, oh, cool. I could do this to this, but it's not that way. You have your crucible focused, like Iron Banner armor, that you can only attach Iron Banner ornaments to. And then you have the other pieces that you can only attach this to. But it's like, I've earned this. I should be able to look fly as hell. I should be able to equip every one of my gear slots with an exotic look. I want to have an Astrocyte verse helmet with a Phoenix Protocol chest piece and some of the gloves are necrotic grips. Whatever. I want to look like a complete goofball, or I want to look awesome. I should be able to do that. This game was. I remember when the game came out. I many a times sitting at work. I'd be sitting there reading Planet Destiny. I'd be sitting there reading, forums. I'm like, man, this looks cool. I want to get this and this and this and this, and I've got so much choice in my character creation. And the game came out, and you're like, Okay. That wasn't, what was promised to me. And that was the biggest issue that people had was when the game dropped, they were like, this is not what we were promised. And it never has been. To be honest with you, it never has been.
Well, from the beta to the actual game dropping was vastly different.
Yes, and I don't know how much of that was Activision's decision or Bungie's.
Right. But you mentioned Planet Destiny, and I was actually watching their podcast they did on the 11th, and they're basically saying like they'll still play it, but honestly, there's nothing to do. Like none of them are playing.
No, there's
PvP.
no reason.
PvP is broken right now.
To grind. There's no reason. PvP is horribly broken. I think actually Matt might have put something on Discord about them to switch over.
Like I think we all tried to play Iron Banner. Last Iron Banner was out, and because of stasis, PvP is horribly broken. And I'm not the only one saying it. I mean, the guys at Planet Destiny have said it. Datto has said it, which actually is what inspired this specific episode.
Yeah, I watched that Datto, and I agree with him on so many points, and those guys are just. I'm just a cat, I guess you could call me a filthy casual, in hindsight or in retrospect, because get too much. I'm not a professional gamer, right? By any means, and I don't want to be. I don't sink that much time into every aspect of this game to min-max a build where it's like I've fumbled my way through so many raids drunk, like and then you got these guys that are. You've got these guys that, go into it and they're like, we're going to do this and this and this and this, call outs and this, and, flawless. And then you got us, they're like, hey, we touched the butt, So it's like, I'm doing the exact same thing you guys are, but you're just doing it way more sweaty.
Right. Well, but see, looking at Twitch right now, like, I've got some stuff on looking at Twitch, like, some of the big Twitch streamers that I've got pulled up, they're not even playing Destiny. No. Professor Broman's not playing, Glad's not playing, Datto's not playing, Sweatsickle's not playing, so, like, Destiny's kind of in a very bleak situation right now.
Right, and you can even, look at it, they changed around a lot of the lore, too, and that kind of brings me to another point. Big name guys, what the hell is his name? The lore dude.
Oh, my name is Bife?
Yeah, my name is Bife. When was the last time Bife put out a lore video?
He actually put one out, I think last week. Let me look real quick.
But he used to do one like every couple of days, and it was great. I would read, I remember sitting there watching his videos on the Book of Sorrows, for Taken King. But it was fun because it gave you something to look at, and you're like, oh man, that's cool, everything had a lore piece to it.
So since the first of the year, going back, hold on, that's 2 months ago, it's a month ago.
Yeah, Crow, you're absolutely right. Trials used to mean something, and I remember in D1, you were a Trials player, like always. What's Crow doing? Playing Trials.
Yeah.
And Trials had badass armor. That was part of the true end game for PvP players was Trials. The PvE guys, we had our raids and stuff like that, but now it feels like more of a chore because you're playing against dudes, and it's bringing to another point. Glitches, bugs, game breaking almost, because people are getting outside of the maps. People are finding different ways to exploit this and exploit that, and that's what sadly that's what games like Destiny and Warzone and they've become lately is not how can I outbest somebody with skill, but
how you can cheat.
How can I cheat? What kind of game-breaking glitch can I cause to basically screw everybody and make this game that was supposed to be fun not?
Right. So back to your question about My Name is Bife. Since the first of the year, he's put out 7 videos, and none of them were more than probably 20 minutes long, which is, he's normally putting out like hour-long videos.
Yeah, he's putting out. I remember his Book of Sorrow series was like 4 hours total. And it was awesome. But a lot of these guys, they're looking for more, and that there's nothing. Once you hit a certain power cap, for instance, I'm sitting at like 1260 something right now. I remember in D1, we, oh boy, Sean started watching. This will be fun. Good thing he's watching. Sean, you might know. You remember this? In D1, when you got a new piece of gear, you had, underneath your power level, it would tell you when you equip something, it would boost that little bar up, and it would tell you how close you were to getting to the next one. Now it's a damn experience bar,
Yep.
for your artifact. Like, it doesn't tell you when you're getting closer to a new power level upgrade, and it aggravates me because I'm grinding this stuff out. I'm doing these pinnacle jobs, and I can honestly tell you for the last like 4 to 5 weeks, every pinnacle drop that I've gotten in this game has been under my current power level. It has not increased me at all. The one time that we did the raid and we got through like the first part or so of the raid, that was the last time that I got an actual boost for a piece of gear, and it still did not increase my overall power level at all. I had 1252s on everything. I put 2 1254s on. Nothing. No power increase. So I don't know what the I guess algorithm that they use, but
Your RNG is just crap, dude.
yeah, my RMG is just absolute crap in every game that I play. Apparently.
That's right. I felt the same way in D1 when I couldn't get shit to drop, man. I don't know how long I grinded for Icebreaker, and it was just like, why won't it freaking drop?
Yeah, and then you got guys like our friend here, Sean Appland, who you're running content, and it's like, oh, Gallahorn. Damn it,
Yeah.
Sean, stop getting all the good stuff.
Right?
But Sean's another guy we've been playing with forever. He's actually an alpha gamer, but all of us guys, me, Crow, Sean, his wife Kim, Lawfer, our good buddy, Derek, we all played so much that we honestly feel that the game it draws you in with content, and then it just it's like a night at the bar. All right, cool, you go out, you have fun, and then you go home empty.
It's that evil one night stand.
Not even that, man. You don't even get that. You don't even get that far. Destiny right now is comparable to, you go to the bar, obviously I'm married, so I'm completely shot in the dark on this one, but you go home, you go to the bar, you talk up a male or female or whoever you want to talk up, and things are going good, you're like, oh man, this is gonna happen, right? It's looking like it, and then suddenly you're at home like, I'm alone. What is going on? I don't understand it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what they need to do to fix that, but they need to fix it.
Well, first of all, they need to, I don't know. I think part of Bungie, as much as I hate saying this, and there's a lot of people that are on the same bandwagon, I think they need to get rid of Luke Smith.
Yeah, it brings up, what is it? Hashtag Sunset Luke Smith.
Yeah. Because,
look
what he did with D1. So D1 ends, and the entire community was like, we want more on the Stranger, because, that was, the big kind of, secret in D1 was, who was the Stranger? And they go into D2, and Luke Smith's like, we're rewriting the lore, the Stranger's never coming back, and blah, blah, blah,
Darkness
blah.
is gone.
Yeah.
We're tossing the darkness out. And it didn't even do a good job of that, because, you went and talked to, Rahul, and one of his lines is, don't speak to me in the darkness, I'll have no part of it. Well, what? According to the lore, there is no darkness, so why are you leaving in certain video clips? Lyrics, it's disappointing, Crow was saying that there's just no more fun in it. Everything is a sweat fest. You go into Crucible, there's not, even in non-competitive Crucible, what's the point?
Well,
You're not getting drops. You're not getting good. There's nothing to grind for.
well, non-competitive Crucible to me is not even fun anymore. Like I'd rather go in and play comp and get my ass handed to me than to go into non-Crucible and be like how am I losing to like freaking kindergartens? I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, and like Crow says, it doesn't take skill anymore. Or really, it's meta based, right? Do I have this weapon and do I have this? Do I have gnawing hunger and whatever hand cannon or scout rifle is meta at this point? It's ridiculous. And you saw such a diverse build in D1 and the Crucible, because it was skill based, and that's that skill based matchmaking. When they took out the skill based matchmaking, I think is when it died. Effectively, Crucible died when they took out skill based matchmaking.
Yep. Well, and that was because, so the argument goes is that too many people were complaining about getting matched up in matches where people had shitty connections, and they were complaining Crucible wasn't fun, so they went to connection based, and now you're getting like you could be, a crap Crucible player with good connection, and get teamed up with like Trials players, which you and I run into every time it seems like we play Crucible.
Yeah, how many times have we gone up into non-competitive survival or elimination, and you're like, oh geez, they're
it's a
full decked
out.
Yeah, it's a right. They got their Trials emblems, their Trials armor, their Trials weapons, and you're like, well, I'm dead. So yeah, there's you can't go unless you do private matches, which private matches were really fun, but when you go into Crucible now, I'm not expecting to have a good time. If I'm going into Crucible, it's like, well, I'm trying to get a pinnacle drop, and that's it. I'm doing my 3 matches and I'm out. We used to go into a Crucible for fun. Like Lyric says, shenanigans is always a good time. Yes, it is. But the only time that I'm having fun doing shenanigans right now is when it's private matches.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
So, and I don't want to say that it's too casual because it's not. Honestly, I think it's too sweaty. Bungie has a problem of, and maybe it's Luke Smith, who knows. They had a problem when, Destiny was younger. They catered too much to the hardcore guys, to the streamers, right? Well, they kind of moved away from that, and they catered too much to the casuals. Then they, this has gone back and forth. They can't find a good middle ground.
No, but I think you're going to always have that problem when you're got a game that has both PvE and PvP mixed into it, because at some point you can't appease both crowds. Somebody's always going to be upset.
And that brings to the next point. My suggestion, if they want to fix this game, separate the sandbox. Separate the sandbox. Dedicated PvE, dedicated PvP. Now, will it take a lot of work? Yes. Will it take a lot of coding? Yes. Will it involve Destiny actually finally getting dedicated servers? Yes. But you will in essence fix your game, because you have this certain weapons are, these are the traits of it in PvP. These are the traits of it in PvE. And then you won't have that awkward balancing, which, there's another good point. The nerfs, right? Nerfs are stupid. Let's be honest with you. They nerf the wrong things. When stasis dropped, stasis is garbage, by the way. When stasis dropped...
You've been hanging out with Clay too much.
No, I completely agree with him. I think it's the stupidest thing they ever did. When stasis dropped, the crowd, and be it the streamers, the casual, I don't know who it was, the sweats, somebody, they were like, Warlock's too powerful. And then Bungie was like, oh, okay. So they nerfed it. And they nerfed it bad.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's
the
probably
problem is,
the worst nerf I've seen them do to a warlock.
and it was the fastest. And what aggravates me the most, and they did this shit with the Sunsinger too, in D1, is they always nerf the warlocks first and fastest.
Well,
Fight me on it because they do.
because Luke Smith's a hunter or a titan, isn't he?
One or two. He's a douche if you ask me, but that's not a class in Destiny. Well, that is a class in Destiny, but you know that's if you ask me. But yeah, so separating the sandbox, and then they nerfed the. Lyric said it streamers. You know, you're probably not wrong. You know, the big guys that draw in the crowd. You know, they're going to complain, and they're going to get the most complaint heard to the largest crowd, right? So, you. How do I want to go with this? They nerfed the warlocks, but they nerfed them too hard. And then the problem is they realized that the hunters and the titans, fight me on this one, were too OP. Still are.
Always have been.
All right. Now, from the beginning, they took away the instant kill melees for the warlock. They took away our self-res. They took away all that stuff, which made it nice, made it awesome. You really felt powerful. And I don't main a hunter or a titan, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the loop on that one. But they took it away from us. You know, hunters have an instant knife throw that will, if you headshot it, not only do you kill your opponent, but you get your melee back instantly. You get that knife back instantly, so you can turn around and do it again, right? You never run out as long as you're getting consistent headshot kills, and it's an instant kill with the headshot. So, what do Titans have the shoulder charge, which is an instant kill. What do warlocks have? Jack shit. And you and I both main warlocks, so I don't. Maybe I'm just bitter and biased about it, but.
But go back to D1. Let's go back to D1. So the warlock had self-res, which I would tell you, combined with the Titan bubble, was probably the most devastating combination you had, because your team was almost, not quite, but almost unstoppable if you ran a bubble and a warlock running self-res.
Yeah, but
in D2 they take self-res away and give you Well of Radiance, which Well of Radiance was good because of Lunafaction boots.
And then they nerfed those.
And then they nerfed the boots. And then, Well's good because you can't really die, but now it became a crutch to everybody. Like, I don't know how many raids I ran with Dire Consequences where they're like, okay, all the warlocks need to run Well of Radiance, but I want to run Supernova because I do more damage. No, we need a Well.
Right.
And you start seeing that across the board.
No, and even in D1, I completely agree. And Crow said used to have stickies. I miss them. Yeah. I remember when they nerfed the hunter stickies. I think Titans no, I don't think Titans do. But I know I have, as a warlock, we have stickies on, I think it's Top Tree Dawnbreaker has stickies. Or no,
Bottom Tree.
Whatever. They have one of the damn Sunsinger, whatever they are, has a sticky grenade. Which, all right, I'll be honest with you, I've stuck people with it and they walk through it. High resilience builds will kill grenades instantly, and it shouldn't be that way, but yeah, it's aggravating. But that gets into specific builds, right? In D1, how many raids do we go through where who's got self-res? All right, hey, I liked running Sunsinger in D1, right? I can tell you there were probably a handful of raids that I ran that I never used a super because my super was the oh shit button. My self-res was that. Team wipes, I'm self-resing, I'm killing some stuff, I'm resing everybody else, right? Well, that went away in D2.
Yep.
And you know why it went away? Because those stupid raid tokens, the res tokens. They stopped the ability to multi-res.
Instead of making the mechanics more challenging, they're like, oh, well, we'll just kind of be lazy and we'll just we'll put res tokens in and make it more difficult.
Right. Because there was a couple times where I would, we would wipe and we're like, oh crap, and my super would tick over and I'd self-res, and it revive a couple people, and then they'd revive a couple people, and we'd rinse and repeat. But there were times where I didn't get to use my super, so I had to make sure that my weapons were high damage. So I had to build around having high damage weapons. And but that it was specific builds. I had my raid build. I had my builds for I would grind specifically to get a certain intellect, discipline, strength build based on what I was doing, and I had that. I had, okay, we're running Crucible, let me do this one. We're running a raid, let me do this one. We're doing whatever, but now why bother?
Well, and I think that's what Data was getting in his state of the game was Bungie's in a weird position right now where doing the same thing over and over again is getting to the point where people just aren't wanting to do it. Like, why am I going to grind for a weapon that you're going to sunset in a season? Like, what's the point?
Right. Oh yeah, sunsetting. Jesus. Exactly. Right. So I think they're sunsetting 21 weapons at the end of the season. That's
21 or 27.
That's a little under half the current loot pool.
Well, yeah,
Gone.
because they
Screw
sunsetted
you.
how many weapons last season, and they only brought in 21 weapons?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not completely against sunsetting, largely because of OP that Recluse and Mountaintop and what was the sniper out of Crucible? Revoker.
Crowwoods. Yeah, Revoker.
Those were
Mountaintop.
so OP that I'm not heartbroken that those got sunsetted.
I am, because I was actually I was very close to Revoker when they got sunset, earning it the legit way, and I'm sure Crow earned all that stuff too. He did probably more so than anybody. So watching right now, him and a couple other people are Samurai Jenkins Discord. More so than anybody, I think because they went through and they did these stuff. They grinded for these weapons and they were dominating in Crucible, and then Bungie was like, too bad.
Well, but see, that was my gripe. I mean, I really was never gonna chase those three in particular because I'm just not a PvP player, diehard like Crow is. But you couldn't do anything without getting murdered by Mountaintop or Recluse or Revoker. It got to the point where I got tired of playing PvP because that's all you saw in PvP.
Right. Yeah, it really was.
But right now, you really don't. I'm trying to think of a weapon right now that is OP in PvP right now. I can't think
Name
of
one.
one at the moment.
Hunter's
Hand cannons
still
are pretty
powerhouse.
OP right now, but that's because they got a buff.
Yeah, Samurai Jenkins, Space and Discord. If that is a tie-in or something, I don't have those active right now. I'll be honest with you, don't know that much about setting those up, bud. But if you're looking for a specific Discord, like I said, I've got the Ascendance Discord up, and you can join that one. Lots of different gaming-related material now. And a good group of dudes. But if you're looking for my Discord, that one's very invite only. The thing about those, and the other fact, is you could earn those rather easy no matter who you were so many people got disheartened thinking they were so hard to get. Yeah, they were. Um, I agree, Crow. And for the longest time, I wouldn't touch those things because it made me nervous going for them. But I started getting into it, and I realized that it made me. I had to play better. I had to change my style better. I'm a hand cannon guy. I like hand cannons, so I was going to try and go for those. But with work-related trips, we'll say, I missed out on a lot of that stuff, a lot of content. But I was really close to Revoker when they sunset it and they took the quest away. So it's like now I can go to a stupid kiosk and buy it. So all the weapons that you guys hardcore grinded for, did I remember your grind, Crow, for Revoker and stuff like that? Doesn't matter. All that work that you did, whatever. Screw you. That's exactly what Bungie said to its player bases. We don't give a shit what you just grinded for.
Right.
Here you go. Go buy it.
Right. And I think that's the big thing with sunsetting right now. And that's why all the community's upset about it. And you're starting to see your big streamers saying, you know what? If you're going to just basically say, go pound sand, we're not going to play your game anymore. Yeah. Or we're not going to play it as much.
Yep. And that kind of, like I said, that brings us kind of back around to what we were talking about earlier, which what's the reason to grind right now? There's no, to my knowledge, there's no PvP specific weapons. There's no PvE specific weapons to grind for. There may or may not be. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest with you. As much as this hurts to say, I don't care. I have nothing to grind for in the game.
Well, I'm pretty much done until Tuesday.
I'm pretty much done until they fix their shit. I'll be honest with you. I got what I wanted, and that was my warden title. And why? There's nothing to bring me back.
Well,
that reason I cannot stand it.
I'll play a little bit of next season, but I mean, even like Paul Tassi at Forbes magazine, Paul's like, they've got to do something, and if they don't, Destiny may cease to exist. And that's
I don't know. That's cutting it. That's kind of, I say a stretch, but yeah, I could see it. I got.
Well, even Datto not Datto. It was Kakish was saying in his state of the game video that he put out on YouTube. He's like, 2 more seasons, all Destiny's going to get from me unless they fix their problems. Yeah. And Kakish is huge in the Destiny streaming community. Yeah. And like Bungie had him do a whole tutorial for kindergartens on how to play the game. And he basically said, if you're a vet, life sucks right now in Destiny. If you're a kindergarten, I mean, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, but this is something. So Crow saying, just like the sunset from D1, right? I think it was the Rise of Iron sunset. They took away a bunch of stuff, but they introduced so much new armor and weapons that it was like we didn't even notice. We didn't even care about that. It was Taken King. Like I think they did it again in Rise of Iron 2. Fact check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure they did it in Rise of Iron as well. But regardless, right?
Well, they did it in Taken King because we had to go grind to get Gallarhorn back because we had to put it back together.
Well, they had to bring it back into. They brought it back because it was.
It was Rise of Iron that they did that because it was the Iron Gallarhorn that we had to grind for.
Yeah. G-Horn was Rise of Iron. Yeah. Right, and it was a quest, and it was cool. I actually liked that. It was enjoyable, and the quest was awesome, man. That quest was freaking cool. But they brought back some good stuff. They changed it up a little bit, and then they did take some stuff out, and really they didn't. I almost really didn't take it out completely. They may have taken it out of the loot pools, but you could go run VOG and get before they updated VOG, they didn't take VOG away. You could go run VOG, but you weren't going to get above a certain power level of weapon to, do anything. So it was more nostalgia purposes, but you did it for fun.
Right.
And I remember going into there was a time, this may have been a cheese too, but do you guys remember going into Crota to get to platinum the game when they before they re-released Crota? You'd go in there with like 3 dudes and 3 Gallahorns, and you would wipe everything, and then Crota was like super easy to kill, and then you got your flawless. I never got in on that, but I know dudes that did. They 2 and 3 man Crota constantly just to get people their flawlesses,
Yep.
but they weren't doing it unless he glitched that. Screw that damn thing. Yeah, we'll just unplug the internet. Screw you, Atheon. But yeah, there were it was fun. That brought us back, and that got us into the game. It's like, hey, bro, we're gonna go 3-man Crota real quick. You man, hell yeah, man.
Well,
hey man, you want to go run VOG? Yeah, why don't I'm surprised I'm not running VOG right now?
Well, before we get into where this is going to take us going forward, remember when it was you and me and Sean and Kim? Who else was this in the VOG raid that we all got the Adept Fatebringer together?
Mm-hmm. I remember that, and oh man, I was so happy when I got it.
Which was my first Fatebringer.
Yeah, Rise of Iron was my first Gallahorn. I hate to admit it, I never got it in the vanilla game. Icebreaker the same way. I never got Icebreaker in the vanilla until they brought him back. Pretty sure I was there. Was my only Crow. I think Crow was with us too. And that stuff was fun, man. What are we gonna do on a Friday, Saturday night? Oh, we already know. We're about to run some Destiny.
Night.
Yep, Drunken Raid Night.
So going forward, so what does this mean for us? I mean, to me, Destiny's on a lifeline right now. Like if they can't,
it's on a ventilator.
Yeah, if they can't fix some of the stuff to make the game more fun and more engaging, kind of like it was in D1, where how many dance-off parties were we involved in D1 in the tower?
Oh man, and you would sit there and waste hours on this stuff.
Yeah, and you don't even see that anymore.
And that's because most of the time I was changing my clothes and shaders, but you don't really see it in the dance keys from D2. Kind of brought back some of that, but I never got one of those because they were incredibly rare, apparently.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, it's.
I know where you're going with that. Before we get into that, one thing I want to say is strike playlists.
Oh God!
You already know where I'm about to go with this. This goes
Do we
back
need
into
another
the grind.
hour. I mean,
probably this is going back into the grind. Actually, we're just gonna go with the core loop of stuff. The core loop of Destiny is not challenging. The content, once you get above a certain power level, you're soloing it. It's just ridiculous. But I don't even know if I want to get into Gambit right now.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That might be for a different day.
Yeah, and Crow's going to agree with me on this one too, I think. Strike playlist, all right? I am agitated at the strike playlist content. There are 5, I think, strikes right now. There were, I think, 15, maybe 10 to 15 in D1. I ran a stupid strike 55 times in a stinking row to get a legendary helmet strictly because that thing looks cool.
That was the Brothers strike, and I ran.
No, it wasn't Brothers. It was Fallen Saber.
Oh yeah, Fallen Saber. I forgot about that one because I was with
Fallen Saber. But we were talking about Brothers too because we were talking about Brothers had the arm guards for the Titan and the Treads Upon Stars scout rifle. Yep. I grinded those things for literal days.
Yep, I was with you on most of those.
Yeah, you were. And so, but now it's like I do my 3 and I go because I don't care. There's nothing, you know.
Right.
Why do I want to grind for this stuff?
Right.
Let's see. Crow says off the bat, make it more enticing to do shit more than just whatever. Spring back 3+. Yes, yes. You got a buff at 3, and then you got I think it was like another exponential buff at 5 straight. If you did 5 straight strikes, you were starting to get good stuff. You know, I remember the other one that I grinded was for the Theosians. The no, I think it's 5. Um, the arms for the Warlock because they had the little squiggly tentacles on them. I was like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Anthony, hey man, Fitty, what up?
Oh, you talking about the one with the scions?
No, that was for the cloaks, and we grinded those too because it was
Those
like
were
I want that. Depending that one, you had to be smart about because depending on which one you killed last was which one you had the opportunity for the cloak to drop.
well, and those were
You
rare
wanted the purple
drops
cloak,
too.
you had to kill the
Because
purple dude.
I don't think I ever got one of the cloaks, and I ran it. I don't know how many times with you.
I ran it all 3 times because I wanted them, and I was like, but that's what kept me coming back because at that point, I was like, what's good, man? Hey, man, you up in Alaska again? Yeah, the flares. Crow knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, we ran that strike because at that time, I didn't mind running 3 characters. I liked it. It was fun. Why? Because I had strike-specific loot for my Titan, I had strike-specific loot for my Hunter, I had specific stuff for my Warlock, and I want them to look a certain way. So I did it. Now, I don't give a shit. To be honest with you. There is nothing to keep me coming back to the strike playlist.
Yeah, I main my warlock, and I haven't hardly touched the other two since D2 dropped. Like, except for when we had faction rallies and I was grinding the armor for all 3.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's because there's nothing there, you know. That's what you know. Before we get into our last little segment here, the strike specific loot needs to be fixed. They need to give us a reason to grind. Like you had mentioned, Dado, and I agree with Dado in the fact that more Destiny is not enough. They need to bring back quality Destiny, quality over content. What's better to have? Is it better to have 800 friends? And, you know, people on Facebook or whatever, they do this shit all the time. You know, look at me. I've got 3,000 friends. Cool. How many of them do you actually engage with in a single day?
Right.
You know, I have a core group of probably 8 to 10 friends that are, you know, my quality group of friends that I play with and I do content with. And, you know, I talk to all the time. You know, my neighbor, you know, good dude. I talk to him all the time. You know, my outside of Destiny or outside of video game writing groups. But yeah, quality over quantity.
Well, you know, as this will be the last thing I'll probably comment on this topic. I mean, look at, and I don't want to call LFG toxic, but like, you almost can't find a raid group anymore that doesn't require you have to have X, you have to have X, you have to have so many clears, you have to.
Well, let's be honest. The raid groups in D1 were the same thing. If you didn't have Galahorn,
Yeah, but
you weren't
at
getting
least you could find raid groups.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't touched LFG in forever. Like, you know, after we left Scourge of Iron, you know, I got hooked up with Dire Consequences, but when they weren't raiding before we started Misfits, you know, I've done a couple LFGs, and they're like, nope, you got to have this, and this.
Yeah.
And for people who, you know, at the time when we weren't in a clan together, it was like, well, how the hell am I supposed to do some of this stuff? You know?
Yeah. You know, there was a period of time where we didn't do anything like that, and it's because Destiny had... But D2 lost us all, you know. Sean and Kim stopped playing, you know, very soon after D2 dropped because there was just so many things that frustrated them.
Curse of Osiris is when we lost them.
Yeah, because they were so disappointed. It's like what the hell, you know? It's
Curses of Osiris
see
almost
why they
lost us
left.
too, though. I mean,
It did. Yeah. The issue is they retcon so much stuff. They retcon lore. They retcon your equipment. You know, they sunset things. They don't introduce new things. We can absolutely agree. Year one was atrocious. It was, but you know, we stuck it out because we loved the game. We're like, okay, it's gonna get better. And now here we are. That was 2018.
Yeah.
We're 3 years later, and we're still sitting here having the same conversations we had before. Did D1 have its faults? Yes. Were they as numerous as they are today? No.
No.
And I can't tell you how many people I've actually seen in forums and groups be like, hey, who wants to go play D1? You know, your game is so bad that people go back to the original to have fun.
I mean, I still have the original on my PlayStation. Like, I haven't taken it.
I still
out.
have it too. I just have to re-download it. But, you know, it's... Guys, for the time being, Destiny has lost me. I would still go... I would probably go back into D1 right now just to run stuff and have fun. I really would. And I'd probably do that over D2. I'll be honest with you. You know, we're talking about VOG, right? They're saying, hey, VOG's coming back in the next season or two. I think the entire community wants Bungie to know, if you fuck this up, your game is done.
Yep. There's already been videos put out about that, about how if it doesn't feel like the original VOG, if the weapons don't feel like the original VOG weapons, then they just might as well shutter the game, because they're going to lose so much of the community over it, because everybody knows what VOG was. All the D1 vets know what VOG was and what it felt like. And
it's such a treasured raid, you know. It's Lyric says she's playing D1 currently. I'm probably going to re-download D1 on my thing.
Hey, I'm all about that. I mean, we could run VOG. I'm down with that.
There you go. We'll put it out on stream right now. Hit me up on PlayStation, Brutal Mastodon, hit Arctic up, Crotoan, Lyric, any of these guys that are in my crew, Midnight Misfits Gaming, and we will happily run D1 content with you.
Yep.
So there, I said it. But you know, it just brings me back to it. It was so fun, and we had such a good time, and you know, we made so many memories. We touched so many butts.
Oh, we did. The dick wall.
Don't hit me up. I'll tell you to get bent. Hit them up, and they'll let me know. All right, princess, calm down.
All right, so going
let
forward,
them eat cake. Whatever. Get out of here,
going forward with this. So the state of the game for me is they've probably got 2 more seasons left in me. I'm not going to put a lot of time in the next season. I'll play it. I'll kind of keep an eye on when VOG's going to drop, because I want to be able to be power level to run the new VOG. But if they can't fix some of the issues that to me are annoying and just don't make it fun for me anymore, I'm probably done with the game. And I've put, like you said, we've put 8 years into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because, you know, like last night, you, me, and Gilly ran a Warzone, and we got our first win in Warzone.
That was exciting. I was completely hammered, but it was exciting.
It was.
I wasn't completely hammered, but I was pretty lit.
So, I mean, when we leave a game that we've invested this much time in, and we're having more fun playing Call of Duty, which is historically bad about cheaters in it, and we get our first win, like, there's something seriously wrong with Destiny.
Yeah, you know, the fact that a lot of you, I don't think you're going to see D1's popularity, honestly. I think you're going to see it increase, you know, over the coming months, because I think what scares a lot of people, and what a lot of people too are doing, is they're going back through VOG even right now. You know, they're going back to VOG to run it again, so they kind of pick up their mechanics again, and they know, you know, the Templar encounter. They know, you know, the Gorgon's maze. You know, they know all this stuff, and
Gorgon maze is going to be like piece of cake with Lament.
You say that. You say that. Still finna get wiped. But it's I wrote a note down here that that basically says, Destiny must evolve, or it's going to get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
By evolution, I mean, we talked about that. I was talked about it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
They have to give us a reason to come back to this game every week. I don't give a shit about seasonal content. I don't. I want to earn my transmogs from the game. I want to earn my looks from the game. I want to run a strike 55 times to get a stinking helmet. I want to run a raid, so many times. The current raid, all right. What's the most prominent weapon out of the current raid? A single fucking rocket launcher. That's it.
Well, that's not entirely true. That's the prominent. That's the only exotic.
That's the exotic.
Right, but Trustee, the scout rifle, is pretty prominent in Crucible right now.
Right. So my point is, again, we go
Which
back
I
to
have,
Vogue.
I might add.
We can go back. We can go back to Crota. We can go to Taken King. We can go to Screw Wrath. By the way, I hated that damn raid.
Never played it. You guys didn't want to play it with me.
We did. I think. I thought we did.
Nope. It's the only raid at a D1 that I have not played.
Well, there you go. We'll go do D1 and we'll get you that raid clear.
I think it's the only one I need so I can get my platinum.
I need to do a flawless to get my platinum, so don't die, scrubs.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so there you go, Crow. You're going to have to, put your big boy pants on, and let's go do some Wrath of the Machine.
Let's do VOG. I want to do VOG first.
You know what? Screw it. We're going to do them all, and we're going to stream it. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Considering we haven't touched those in how long now?
Oh, my goodness gracious. There's going to be a couple. That raid killed my Sherpa life. You have a life? What are you talking about? Nerd. Damn celebrities up in here.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna probably end this to now. We've been doing this for a little over an hour or so.
Yeah.
So brutal. So ending this. So kind of what are you playing right now other than Destiny?
So before we get into that real quick, I do want to echo a sentiment that you said. I am pretty much giving Destiny one more season. I'm going to do the same as you. I'm going to grind to make sure I'm at power level for VOG. VOG is going to be a make or break. It's a linchpin for me. If they screw it up, I'm done. If VOG, and I've said this from the beginning, what I think they're doing with this, kind of bringing this stuff back into it, is they're trying to undo what they did with D2, which is divert from their original plan of having one game based on a lifespan, right? Based on a life cycle. And I think they're going to slowly incorporate bits and pieces of D1 into D2. Is it a good idea? Yes, if they stop vaulting everything. But that'll be episode 2.
Yeah.
So, what am I playing? I am playing Warzone. I am playing I usually won't stream it. I may start streaming it. I play Final Fantasy 14 a lot. I mean, my mom said I'm special. Well, she's also the only one that probably said you were a handsome fella, Crow. So, you non-growing mustache. I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. That's my nerd dirty pleasure. I play a lot of Warzone. Warzone's real fun. Division, we ain't wrong, but at least I don't have a stash. Yes, because I can grow one. Yeah. I'm just jealous because you can't grow a decent mustache. I play a lot of Division. We've been kind of getting back into that one, although Division is just more of a time killer, really. But I also do some Thursdays is usually a throwback Thursday for me. I stream older games like Castlevania Requiem, but I also stream. I have the Super Nintendo that I'll be streaming on Thursdays, and I have my Xbox that I'll be streaming all 3 of the Fable games, 100%ing each game. So on Thursdays, look for that on my stream on Facebook and Twitch, or Facebook or Twitch, whichever one. And yeah. So what about you, Arctic? What are you up to?
Well, I'm, now that I'm kind of taking a break from Destiny, waiting for the new season to drop. I've been playing a lot of Division 2, a lot of Warzone. I play a lot of baseball. Typically don't stream baseball. Baseball's my, after I've played Warzone, wind down before I go to bed type game.
I should pick that up.
So I've been Valhalla. I'm really happy with Valhalla. So I'm kind of sucked into that storyline. But I'm normally streaming on the weekends. I try to stream Fridays and Saturdays. I've kind of been lazy about that here lately, just with starting a new job and everything. But try to get back into more consistent streaming on the weekends. But it's normally Warzone or Division is what I'm streaming right now, since I'm taking a break from Destiny.
Yeah, I've picked up Assassin's Creed. I'm playing through Odyssey right now. I'll maybe stream that one every now and then, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we run a lot of content together, us and a couple of other friends. But we're around. You guys know how to find us. Make sure you hit us up. Hit Arctic up on his YouTube, his Twitch. Hit me up on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the things, Discord, different stuff like that. Or if you guys want, just drop a DM, drop a message, something like that. I'll get back to you. And
I think we need to add one more thing before we close this out. Is
oh boy,
what you and I plan to have content for this podcast, like what the idea of this podcast is.
So we started the podcast. Really, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring together. I guess you can call it dads, right? I'm not going to be inclusive. Gaming misfits, right? There's guys that we're not professionals, right? Obviously, you can see. Look at my background. I don't have one of those fancy backgrounds. I got my football stuff in the background. This is in my house on my desk. We want to give people a chance to come in here, vent a little. We vent a lot. Who knows? Maybe we got the same ideas. Ask questions about anything really. Life-related stuff, dad-related stuff, game-related stuff. Whatever you guys want to do. I don't vent. That's pretty much the same thing there.
I think for us it's more of, it's a group of people who met thanks to random connections in Alaska that have stayed in touch, and we have very similar tastes and stuff: video games, shooting, whiskey tasting, things of that nature. And I think it's us just having a good time with our friends, but also giving information like game reviews, state of games, things of that nature.
Yeah, like Arctic said, we'll do different times. Maybe Sunday morning with coffee, or maybe Sunday evening with some different whiskeys and stuff like that. But we're here. You guys know where to find us. Hit us up with anything. If you guys got a question, if you want us to give you a shout out, we'll prop whatever you want. But yeah, it's been fun. This is, like I said, this was only episode 1. We'll evolve and grow.
And we're liable to have more people pop in. We may have some of the gaming group pop in, like Crow or Gilly or Lyric.
Yeah,
or
we should get old Crow. He's a pretty prominent streamer in his own right. Maybe we'll have him come in for the next episode and
give us tips.
give us tips on whatever. But formerly what? Formerly a big time streamer.
I know he didn't retire. He's too young to retire.
He isn't retired.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end that in this episode.
Yep.
So, everyone, thanks for commenting in the various chats, and hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you come back for our next episode.
Yep. We'll work on some catchphrases. Unfortunately, we can't use music because I don't feel like going to jail or getting fined. So no intro music, unfortunately.
I'll figure something out when we do the editing. Like I said, I've got some access to copyright-free music. So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you drop us a question for the next episode that you guys want answered on air. Drop some stuff for shout-outs that you guys want, and we will hit those up too. So.
All right, y'all have a good day.
All right. Yep, everybody have a good day. We'll see y'all later. Watch for our streams for the D1 raids, by the way. And if you guys want in on those and want to be, have a good time with us, or, if you've never done content in D1, let us know, and we will be absolutely happy to run you guys through anything in D1. So that's our baby.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good Sunday.